And welcome to 2014. Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome back to the Lunchpail and The Professor. This is a production of Liberty Action Network. Now, you may have noticed I'm dressed for the weather here today. This is to give you a little sense of what the theme is. Have you noticed it's been cold out? You notice that, Jim?
It's 5 degrees, right?
It's 5 degrees. So my weatherman says over here, Lunchpail.
With the wind chills like 13 below zero today. It's beautiful.
So we thought we'd like get a little costumed up here. At least I would. However, this hat is so hot. And by the way, if you're thinking this is a funny looking hat, it's only because you're probably a cultural elite and you haven't checked with people in Minnesota who think this is fine. Right. So anyway, I'm going to take this off right now so that you can actually see me. And we'll start the show. Now, Jim, Happy New Year, 2014. This is a big year.
Is it?
Yeah.
November?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now look, I'd like to start the show by unveiling a new award. Okay. Now I haven't talked to you about this, right? You know nothing about this.
Am I getting an award finally?
We'll put that.
Finally getting a plaque.
We'll put that on the list.
Finally getting a plaque.
Yeah, we'll have to defer.
Am I getting a dinner? I have a dinner. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You like yodels?
I love yodels. Are you kidding? On a refrigerator?
Well, here it is. You remember the Pink Panther series?
Yeah.
With
cartoon or Peter Sellers?
No, Peter Sellers.
Yeah.
Right?
Big fan
right? You remember who his character was? The name of his character?
Yes, Inspector Clouseau.
Inspector Clouseau. I'm unveiling the Inspector Clouseau Award.
Ooh.
Now, for people who don't know the Inspector Clouseau Award, the role of Inspector Clouseau was somebody who unintentionally demonstrated the greatest buffoonery possible. Right? And hilarity. Unintentionally. People are rolling in the aisles. So I'm uncovering, introducing today the Inspector Clouseau Award for unintentional buffoonery and cartoonish behavior.
Wow, I think maybe I'll do some fake sign language. Go ahead. Here we go.
And we actually have a winner.
A winner.
First, a winner. Yep.
Okay, here we go.
You know who it is?
Well, let's see. Buffoonery.
Buffoonery.
Oh man, it's got to be either Biden.
Close.
A buffoon.
Buffoon.
Of 2013.
Yeah.
I mean,
probably
the possibilities are endless.
Yes, they are. However, you immediately know this. You immediately know who this is. It will resonate immediately with all you folks out there too.
So, do you want a drum roll before you announce this thing?
Yes, go ahead. Give me a drum roll.
Are you ready to announce it?
Yes. And the winner is Reverend Al Sharpton.
Really?
Yep. And here's why. Reports have it that he appeared on his TV show of to millions, of course.
On the Rainbow Hate Network?
Yeah, the Rainbow Hate Network. In a white lab coat, lecturing his views on global warming. You know, now, you have to imagine this, folks. You have to imagine Al Sharpton with the big head, the big bobblehead, and the sweat back on the sides, lecturing people on global warming.
In a lab coat, really?
In a white lab coat.
You know, that's a sad statement. The reason they do this theatrical buffoonery is because the people buy it. That's because they're getting away with it. That's why they do this stuff.
Well, I think the people who watch him certainly would buy it because they think he is, well...
It's incredible.
It is. So that's our first. Now, periodically, we're not going to give this out every week,
right.
You know, because you really have to have a buffoon, and I think
you can give it out every day.
But think of it. Doesn't Al Sharpton really merit this? Doesn't he merit this? Al Sharpton in a white lab coat lecturing people on global warming. Amazing. And so, Reverend Al, if you want to come down and pick up your award, feel free to come right down to the studio and pick up the award anytime. It's the Inspector
Reverend Al
Clouseau Award. Now, which leads me into our next issue, right up with the weather. You read about, Jim, you read about the ship that got stuck in the Arctic ice? They almost came in second, almost came in second to
Right?
the Buffoon Award. The spectacle. So
I have a lot of questions about that. How is it possible that you take a ship like that up to the Arctic Circle and never check your radar? You can see ice on the radar. I watch Deadliest Catch. I know how those ships work. They show the radar, and those guys have to work around the ice.
Right.
They drop their cages down. They have to get back there before the ice moves in. And you can see that ice growing on screen.
Right.
Are they so sold out?
Yes.
I mean, so that means that they're not just pulling the wool over people's eyes with this global warming. They actually believe it.
Yes, they do.
They believe it so much, they never check their radar.
That's right. They were there
How
to
do you
show.
not check your radar?
You're right. You're absolutely right. They were there to prove that the Arctic ice is melting. Right? So there they go. Nice proof. I guess we can sum that up with one word. Oops.
Oh my! I mean, are we really that? Are we becoming that stupid? I mean, not us in the room, but as a people, are we really becoming that stupid? Al, so they got their ship stuck. The Chinese sent an icebreaker to get them. They got stuck. Then, I think the Russians sent the ship, couldn't get to them. They said it's too dangerous. We're turning back. The ice is too massive,
Right.
too thick. We're not going in.
Right.
We had the United States.
To the rescue.
When the world gets in
rescue.
trouble, who do they call? They call us.
Right.
We send in helicopters. We didn't sail through the ice. We came from the air, because that's who we are.
So
And we saved everybody.
that's true. Now they get the. By the way, these are people of global warming. They're concerned about global warming. Left the biggest carbon footprint ever for all the efforts that they made to rescue them.
They're the ones
So-
that melted the ice now.
Yeah, right.
You happy now?
So this is
It's
a
unbelievable.
very interesting thing. All right, so Jim, I've got another something that I think you'll appreciate. Peter King is at it again,
Oh my God.
right? Representative
you
Peter
know-
King from New York City at it again.
Talk about finally showing your true colors, or finally picking a side to go on. It's so clear where this guy stands. He's a Mayor Bloomberg. All of a
He's
sudden,
Mr. Establishment Republican now.
it's unbelievable.
Mr. Establishment Republican.
Attacking Rand Paul, attacking Ted Cruz. You
Well-
never hear him attack a Democrat.
Nope. Him and John McCain are buddies. You know that, right? Big buddies.
You know,
Big
they
buddies.
say that third parties are not a good idea. But
Start
what are
to
we
wonder,
doing
right?
here, man?
Start to wonder.
What are we doing?
By the way, Peter King is joining up with another group, probably called Rove, to develop a super PAC to defeat any Tea Party candidates that might be primarying people.
But Democrats, they don't have any time to work against them.
Nope.
It's just conservatives.
Yeah. I often said that I thought that you never see Democrats, or rarely ever see Democrats, attack other Democrats on their left. But the Republicans seem to be on a search and destroy mission for anybody on their right.
Because it's a one-party system now. Those establishment Republicans are Democrats, which the Democrats aren't even Democrats now. They're leftists. So they're all leftists. Peter King to Harry Reid. They're all one big mess. And when someone like Ted Cruz comes out, a statesman, stands up and says, this is not right. We're not going to get out of this mess doing what you want to do, taking us where you want to take us. It's not going to work. So, you know, I started a study, a personal study on my own, where, I started a personal study on my own about the difference between a statesman and a politician.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. So if the country would realize and learn that there's two different types of people that you can put in office, you want the statesman. Because if you like the way America was and your life the way it was and our system of things wasn't perfect, but life is not fair for anybody. So when things in your life happens and the government tells you, oh, it's because of that guy, it's because of that group, they're lying to you. A statesman would never do that. A statesman would tell you, listen, life is not fair. When you need help, you come and we will help you. It's not a forever kind of deal, but we will help you financially or whatever. You need a place to stay, we'll help you. Government wants to capture you. A statesman wants you to be free and take care of yourself. So I'm doing this study online. I'm not ready to present it for the show, but it's incredible the difference, the stark difference between a statesman and a politician.
Right.
It's incredible.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
So hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll have it together.
good.
And I'll
Good.
share
That's
it.
great. By the way, just on the Peter King thing, and he got all bent out of shape, got his panties in a knot because he actually didn't like Rand Paul saying that Klepper, right, who was the head of national intelligence, lied when he was lied in front of Congress when he was asked, is the NSA collecting data and holding data on people? And so here's Clapper. I mean, if you saw this, did you see that? This is Clapper when he's asked this question, and he had the question beforehand. Here's his response. Mr. Clapper, is the NSA collecting information on citizens and looking at that information? This is Clapper now, right? Not intentionally.
Government.
This is it.
That's
This
government
is amazing.
politicians.
I'm looking at this and I'm saying, this guy's lying. So now, so Peter King didn't like the fact that that he said Rand Paul was putting Clapper on the same level as Snowden. Okay, so he didn't like that because Rand Paul was saying, well, Clapper lied to Congress. There's a criminal penalty that goes with that.
And Congress just sits there and allows this to go on. They're disgusting.
And here's what Peter King missed. Here's the whole point he missed, is you had a government official, a high-level government official, who lied, thereby reinforcing to the American people that the government is corrupt and you can't trust them.
Newsflash.
Yeah. But I mean, this, for a lot of people, you know,
I know.
this is devastating.
I know.
Because then you can't believe anything that weakens us.
It's amazing
So-
that the people don't know what's going on yet.
Yeah. What else you got?
Well,
I got plenty of stuff unless you're looking.
I heard somebody, you know how I have the Pledge of Allegiance on the back of my shirts?
Yeah.
I'm in this bagel shop.
Those are great shirts, by the way, folks.
I'm in this bagel shop, and this guy, blue collar, he asked me about the pledge. He says, "Hey, nice shirt." I said, "Thanks." I said, "I made it myself." He said, "That's great." He says, "I can't wait till we have a new constitution." And I've heard this before. I've heard this before from people. Where do they get these ideas from? A
The
new
left.
constitution. A new constitution. I said, "Really?" He said, "Oh yeah." He said, "I can't wait." I said, "Really?" I said, "Do you like the way your life is right now?" He wouldn't answer me. I said, "Do you like law and order?" I said, "Do you like your family being safe?" Wouldn't answer.
Right.
It's like they don't know about what's really going on. They're tied into this fantasy that they've been fed over
Yeah.
the past
Yeah.
20 years.
The Constitution's outdated.
And they're running around. Somebody in my family says, "Oh, the Constitution is a living, breathing document," which I've heard the leftists start
Oh,
spoon-feeding
absolutely, yeah.
people that line. A living, breathing document. And here's I can't say who it is. He repeated it. I was like, what is this, like the invasion of the body snatchers?
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's like, are these the pod people?
Right. It's the bobblehead effect. You say something, you shake them, and they go, yeah, 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 yeah.
They'll buy that line, but they won't believe what we tell them out of the Constitution. Now, one thing I said to the guy in the bagel shop when I was leaving, I said, hey, if they want to change the Constitution, they could change the Bill of Rights too. Have a nice day. And I left him standing there with that. Because it's true.
Yeah. Oh,
They
yeah.
crack open that Constitution and start moving things around to favor them. You know, the Constitution is not for them, it's for us, to protect us from them. So now they're going to go in and change things around to where we have no protection anymore. That's what they want to do. And if they can do that, they'll change the Bill of Rights.
Oh, yeah.
They want to take
Well,
our guns away.
Obama said, the Constitution, it's like it gets in my way.
Yeah,
It gets in my way like Congress does, you know?
You know, that's why
Gets in my way.
that's why he studied the Constitution. Not to be a constitutional scholar. He studied the Constitution to subvert it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's who he is.
Speaking of Obama,
Oh
and
man.
it's painful. It's very painful. Speaking of Obamacare, and we've gone through all the promises.
Oh, my God.
However, you know, the last remember the promise? He said, you know, one of the ways why this is so important is because the people who don't have insurance go to the emergency room.
I know you go.
All right? You know where I'm going?
I have that too.
Right? Then you go to the emergency room,
Oh,
and then
man.
we all have to pay for their expenses. So what do we find out? A study just done found out that since Obamacare's been in effect, and in a really good, well-researched study coming out of Oregon, showed that people who have insurance, right, are still using, in fact, the emergency room use was up 40%.
Oh.
40%. Now, why is that?
I didn't have that.
No? Yeah,
No.
up 40%. Now,
I'll tell you what I had.
well, let me finish what I'm going to tell you here. So here's the understanding. And here's a news flash, right? Number one, when you're on Medicaid, it's free, right? Free, right, free. So you're going to use more, right? Doctors have been telling the Obamacare czars, if you give people a lot of preventive, services, they're going to use them. You're going to overuse the insurance. And secondly, people go to the emergency room because number one, they can't get an immediate appointment with their physicians because physicians are stopping taking Medicaid, and there will be 25 million over the next 7 or 8 years more people going into the Medicaid system.
Wanna know what I have?
So there it is, another lie, another Obamacare lie. This will cut down on use of emergency rooms. I guess not. Oops.
For the first time in American history, people are being turned away from emergency rooms. They go in and they take their medical card just like always, right? The Obamacare patients don't have medical cards. They
Right.
just show up.
Right,
Like they're an illegal alien that just came over the border.
right.
They show up and they say, I need care. Okay, where's your medical card? Oh no, I have Obamacare. No, you don't. Not without a card or a number or anything. They're turned away.
Right,
Now these might be regular Americans
Right.
that had coverage
right.
for 25 years
Right.
from their job.
Right.
They get the letter in the mail saying,
Sorry, you're
this
not
policy
covered.
has been made illegal by the government. We can't cover you anymore. You
Right.
got to go to the government system. They go to the government system. Takes them 3.5 days to sign up on that stupid website.
Right.
They finally get you're in. A yes we can, you got it.
Right.
Go to the emergency room. I'm sorry, you don't have coverage. Now they're out there by themselves with nothing.
Nothing to do. Who do you go to?
You know, the
Who do
devil
you
does
turn
the
to?
same thing to you. The devil will try to entice you with all this stuff. He told Jesus, they're up on this hill somewhere, he said, hey, Jesus, if you bow down and worship me, I will give you this whole kingdom.
Right.
And Christ is standing there. He says, first of all, that whole kingdom's not yours to give.
Right.
So, but what the devil does to regular people, entices them with all this stuff and this and that, and they all of a sudden get into this lifestyle, right? Then the devil abandons them and they come crashing down, and there's no help anywhere. You ran with the wrong people. No one's going to help you now.
Yep.
It's the same thing.
Well, you know what's interesting? That you're talking about they come up, they don't have a card to come with. So what do they have to do? They're bringing their printouts from the computer that says you've been enrolled. I'm like, how pathetic is this?
If
These
it
poor
works,
people, the poor people.
I mean, hold on one
And of
second.
course,
Go ahead, cut. Go ahead.
I feel bad for these poor people. And of course, when they get there with their printout, and you have Nurse Ratchet at the desk saying like, "I'm sorry, no, go. You're having a heart attack."
I don't feel bad
come back
for
later.
I don't feel bad for the people that voted for this freak show.
No, that's right.
Any regular thinking American that's caught in this system, I feel bad for. But if you voted for him in 2008, that's pretty bad. If you voted for him again in 2012, I got no compassion for you. I got nothing for you. You're on your own. Good luck. Yes, we can.
By the way, I'm making a prediction here. Doctors are not taking Medicaid patients, right? Because the reimbursement's so low. They're not going to take them. So what is Obama going to do? Well,
He doesn't care.
Well,
he doesn't care.
Well, no, he well, it's true. That's true. He doesn't.
I know it's true. I said it.
Two things he can do, which I predict he will do. Number one, try to mandate that physicians take Medicare patients. In other words, force them to take it. Or two, he'll go ahead and up the reimbursement rates for doctors, thereby busting all the predictions on how much Obamacare is going to cost, which have been busted anyway. Right? The doc fix, what they call the doc fix, happens every year. They say they're going to cut the reimbursement. That's a gimmick.
I blame the doctors with their unions and their organizations and all this BS. They allowed, just like the farmers allowed and everybody else that allowed government intrusion through regulation. They got to fight that stuff as soon as it shows up at the doorstep. It's a poison. I remember when the hijacker walks into Facebook. When I saw that picture of Mark Zuckerberg and Barack Obama in the lobby of Facebook, I said, that's it. Facebook is poison now. The freaking NSA is going to be in there watching what everybody does. It's the same thing. When government got into medicine, look where we are now.
Right.
That's why the founders said, listen, I think it was Benjamin Franklin. He said, the government is a raging fire. You better keep it small or it'll destroy everything. That's what they do. They destroy everything. Look at the farmers. Look at the farmers. Look at the gas stations. A gas station owner, gas is $4 a gallon, right? You know how much the station owner actually makes off that gallon of gas?
Tell me.
6 pennies. And out of that 6 pennies, he's got to pay his bills. Government.
Yeah. How much time we got here? Stage people.
7
We got
minutes.
7 minutes left.
Wow.
Wow. Well, look, we got a lot of stuff to cover in 7 minutes. I'll tell you that right now. Hey, look, we're coming in 2014. All right? Big election, 2014. All right? Everybody's talking about the Republicans are really poised to take the Senate. Right?
Republicans are poised. Yeah.
They're poised to take the
all right.
Senate. That's a Jersey time.
They're
Poised.
Republicans and poised just don't go together. I got no faith in Republicans.
So here's the story.
And I'm a
now.
Republican on paper.
So now Obama and the Democrats, smart cookies, right? Sly, clever. So what are they going to come out with? Because they can't come out with Obamacare.
They're reading the people right now. They're reading what they have to put out, what the people will buy.
And what is it? What's it going to be? Here's the message. You've heard it already. What is it? Income inequality.
Social
Income inequality.
Social justice.
I don't know if they'll use the term social justice. They use income inequality, fairness, and compassion. That's what they're going to hit the Republicans with. How are the Republicans going to respond?
They don't have a response.
They don't have a response.
No.
I haven't heard it. Maybe they're working on it.
No, you know what their response is? Let's do amnesty.
Yeah, right.
That's their response.
Right. Now, you know,
You know what it is? The Democrats want to give them economic equality, right? They want to give them this, they want to give them that.
Right.
So the Republicans are like, what can we give them?
Right,
Let's give them
exactly,
amnesty.
exactly.
That's where they're at.
They have not learned
But yet
yet.
Ted Cruz and Rand Paul's bad guy.
Yeah, right, right.
And Louis Gohmert.
Yep,
Trey Gowdy.
right. Well, the
That's about
Republican,
it.
apparently the establishment Republicans have not learned yet that you can't out-left the left.
No, they are the left.
Well, yeah,
It's a
but I
one-party
mean,
system.
you know, well, okay, so here's what we're going to hear. This is the income inequality, fairness, and compassion. Here are the three things. Number one, extension of unemployment benefits.
Yeah.
Right? Now, here's what I think. I think that this is the prelude to a guaranteed income for anybody who wants it.
Yeah, but from
Just
where? Where's the money going to come from?
Well, wait. Well, you know where it's coming from, Jim.
It's
Lunchpail, you know where it is.
It's phony money.
Taxes, 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 taxes. Here's the next one. Minimum wage bill. That's what they'll come out with. You got to have compassion for people. Minimum wage bill. And the other one is, what is the other one? Oh, food stamps in the agricultural bill.
They're playing these people so bad.
And Republicans, how are they going to deal with that? Because they're so concerned about being labeled as uncompassionate and unconcerned about the poor. Okay. So that's what they're going to get hit with. It'll be very interesting to see how they're going to respond.
Their
to
messaging, they've zeroed in on the people, and they know how to message.
They do.
You know, Glenn Beck came out with a statement because some Russian maniac said, we should take every gay in Russia and throw them in the ovens. And Beck was like, what? He said, no. He stood up against this freak from Russia.
Right.
He said, no, we're gonna make sure that never happens. He said, I'll stand with GLAD. I'll stand with all these other organizations. You know, when you start talking about stuff like that, that is fascism.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it was like gender or sexual fascism or whatever. There was a term. He says, no, I'll stand up against that. And Beck was on CNN. So it went around the world. And you got all these liberals like that guy we were talking about before, Mark Lamont Hill.
Oh, well, yeah.
Professor at Columbia, which doesn't say much.
Right.
He's got his own talk show now because they won't let him on O'Reilly.
It's on the Al Sharpton network.
On the Hit Network.
Right.
So, Mark Lamont Hill and some other guy, they're talking about, Beck said that? Glenn Beck said he would stand with... How is that possible? They're like, the world must be coming to an end because Glenn Beck would never say...
Right.
And I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, you know what? They have no idea who Glenn Beck is and what he's about. They only know what they've been told about Glenn Beck. So that's only two people. The whole left and their voting base thinks the same thing about Glenn Beck because of their messaging.
They have to. They
have
to
no
demonize
idea
him.
who we are.
They have to demonize him. They have to demonize anybody who does not have the left worldview.
But the lies are going to start falling apart because those guys on the left were like, I can't believe Glenn Beck said that he would stand with GLAD. And Beck is like, I'll stand with anybody. You start talking about throwing anybody in the ovens, I'll stand with you. It doesn't... I mean, and Beck's always been like that. We're normal people. You know, just because we don't agree with whatever doesn't mean we hate you.
We're getting the 1 minute sign here. You notice that?
Well, okay. I guess we'll wrap it up then.
We'll wrap it up. Folks, thank you. 2014, Happy New Year. Lunchpail and The Professor. We'll be back. Thank you. Liberty Action Network.
Happy
See you
New
soon.
Year, everyone. We'll see you.